Now, if this is the first time you've attended a Market Hong Kong event, or if you're one of the pioneers that's been here from the very beginning or the start, my question to each of you is, who is in the wheelbarrow? Now, what does that mean to you? Can I ask you that? Let me show you. I'd like to share with you a magic moment that occurred at our recent international convention in Greensboro, North Carolina, in front of over 20,000 unfranchised owners. Enjoy it, and I hope you have a great event. Get in the wheelbarrow. I believe in you. I really believe in you. What an incredible convention and fantastic group of UFOs and shopping annuity pioneers, evangelists, and ambassadors. At this moment in time, you are equivalent to the pioneers earning millions today, like Weber, Bowlings, Keepers, Vicki Lee and her original people, and many others. So I want to thank you for your belief. So let me take you back for a moment in time, Saturday night at the convention, at the end of the close in a full Coliseum. I spoke to the principle of the Golden Circle and the need to put your why first. Apply the golden rule to Market America, the Golden Circle, and then it becomes your DNA. When it becomes your DNA, it's your code. It's just the way you are anyway. You can't help yourself. I don't care what you do something you're passionate about. And I also passionately explained what the shopping annuity is and how it works, as well as explaining why it is possible and destined to cause a paradigm shift and the answer to economic freedom and stability by converting spending into earning. It's economic alchemy. One must believe in their why and the company's why, which is synergistic, and then the how and the what that are already defined and proven come together to work and guarantee success. Now, I close the session with the nature and power of belief and what it really means through the classic story of a tightrope walk across Niagara Falls with a wheelbarrow full of bricks. And after proving it, that it could be done, asking the press if they believed he could do it again. On answering yes, he then pressed the issue and said, "Do you really believe?" And when they hesitantly answered yes again, he turned the wheelbarrow upside down, dumping out the bricks, and said, "Well, then get in the wheelbarrow. We're going across again." When I think of this reenactment of this true story of the first walk across Niagara Falls, it just brings a new perspective and meaning to the word belief and the meaning of belief. And for those that do not know the story, people came expecting him to fall and to be swallowed up in the tumultuous rampage of the falls below to certain death. But when he made it across successfully to terra firma, the crowd went up into a thunderous applause and cheering. And when approached by the press corps, he asked them if they believed that he could do it again, and that he made it so doable and possible with ease. They said, "Well, yes." But then he pressed the issue, "Do you really believe it?" The point is that there's a big difference between saying you believe and demonstrating your belief in your actions, which is a real test to see if you believe. I use this metaphorically, and if you really believe, you will get into the unfranchised shopping annuity wheelbarrow with your personal why. What is the answer for you? Are you in the wheelbarrow with your why? Only your actions will determine that. So I, the CEO of a billion-dollar company, actually did this in front of 23,000 UFOs on stage to demonstrate it. Now, for those of you that were there in person or watched it on meeton.com or the video link, let me quickly explain the significance. To some extent, it is one of those you had to be there scenarios. The story in itself is compelling and makes the point. In the 2 weeks prior to the convention, I was contemplating how could I most impactfully drive the message home and engage the people in a compelling way that they might experientially feel the point emotionally and have it trigger that 1/1000th of a volt or a revelation or epiphany. It was a spontaneous idea out of nowhere, which I call mental angels. There was a little over a week before the international convention, and I wasn't serious, it wasn't realistic, and we were consumed with other challenges, and it was just not a must-have and must-do item. I almost jokingly, not expecting to be able to possibly do this in a short time, I just jokingly mentioned it to the events team, and they stunned me the next day with the announcement that they could possibly do it, as they had connected with an incredible team from the Cirque du Soleil. Now I was in that moment of truth situation where I had to either commit or chicken out. The Cirque du Soleil acrobatic technical engineers and trainer were uncertain if I would be able to or capable to do it, as it normally takes months of training and practice. So I practiced 2 times late at night over the first 2 days of the international convention for an hour or so. Then I did 7 successful passes with the wheelbarrow, on the last 2, which was loaded with bricks, and the wheelbarrow not attached to the tight rope in any way. So it's worth noting that this was after one disaster where I lost the wheelbarrow, and during that fall they tried to teach me how to get the wheelbarrow back up on the tight rope. And as hard as I tried, I could not get it back up. Now, this is an important little fact when you consider what happened live Saturday in the close. So Saturday night, when I did this, I did not know for sure if I could do it 100% successfully. It was a risk and a gamble. A rock star preacher, Rich Wilkerson Jr., a top guest preacher for Hillsong, is a really close friend, and he'd come to support Lauren and I. And when he heard that I was attempting this stunt, he huddled us together and we said a prayer asking that we would be watched over and succeed. After speaking passionately for 2.5 hours, ranting and raving on stage, there's a bit of an endurance test going on. So I was out of time and had made my mind up to do it, so I headed backstage to climb the scaffolding. Believe me when I tell you that I understand what you feel like when you start in the business and decide to buy 3 or more World Conference tickets and you don't have the money. That's a demonstration of your belief. Or maybe you're going to go show the plan at a UBP to an important person and you're scared. Let me assure you, I was scared. But my why was bigger than my being scared.
I know you're excited, just so you know, I haven't seen it either. I only heard about it by default yesterday because he would never want me to see him do anything this crazy. Okay, but stick around. Here we go.
So I climbed up and grabbed a wheelbarrow and started to cross ever so carefully. It would take too much time here to now explain the correct method of doing this in order to succeed. But it isn't simple, and you actually have to walk the rope with the arches of your feet, and you're kind of back bending and squeezing in your core. The Niagara Falls view of turbulent water below and behind are simulated with actual footage over the falls, and it looks totally real. A very important technique in doing this is that you have to keep your vision line keenly focused on an object at the other end of the tightrope and never take your laser stare or focus off of it until you reach the other side. So I got out there in front of everyone to prove belief by action and really didn't know 100% that I would make it, but I knew that I could do it. Well, 3/4 of the way across, the worst thing that could happen occurred. I took my eye off the focus object when the audience started chanting my name, just for a split second, and that caused a wobble, and the wheelbarrow popped off the tightrope, and some bricks fell out, and it looked like a disaster. That was the worst thing that could possibly happen. Well, the pain of the thought of failure was so great that I had to get the wheelbarrow back up, and I said, "God, help me." Now, I have to say that Pastor Rich's prayer was probably answered there, and I guess it's divine providence to prove that the shopping annuity was destined for success and that belief prevailed. Now, I could have easily given up, and it would have been a disappointment and a failure. But I would have been devastated and humiliated. But the pain of the thought of failure was so great that every last fiber and cell in my body came together in a clutch and an all-out effort to recover, and it was a magic moment, and it worked. I was so relieved when I reached the other side.
Did I do it? Do you believe I can do it again?
Then, of course, I completed the metaphor by asking you if you thought we could do it again, and if you were in the wheelbarrow with me. And of course, you all screamed out yes. And then Elizabeth Weber symbolically got in the wheelbarrow, who actually did it in real life with the shopping annuity, and that was demonstrating belief in action. Someone asked me after the close, it was all over, a surprise question. They asked me, what would I have done, or how would I have finished, or how would I modify the story after not making it to explain it and to make sense out of it? Well, the honest to God answer is that I never considered it because it wasn't an option. I never thought of it. But now that I think about it after the fact, I would have made you stay for 15 minutes and climbed back up and would have gone across again without falling and crossed the fall successfully. That's the answer. Never, never, never give up. Failure is not an option. So that demonstrates belief in the shopping annuity, in unfranchised, and in the why, and the magic that it results in.